The umpires union is really going to kill me for doing another one of these.
Oh shit, here we go again.
So by popular demand, we're going to turn our attention to another fan favorite umpire, Joseph Henry West, or Cowboy Joe for short.
Yeah, shut your mouth, mister.
I figured I didn't want to make the exact same video as I did for Angel, so I thought I'd tell Joe's story slightly differently. I'm going to do my best to be a bit nicer for this one because I like to clean up my videos a bit, so no more nonsense, here we go. Joe is another horrible umpire who fans and players alike hold in extremely low regard, and he's had more than plenty of his fair share of terrible calls. Joe West makes a controversial call seemingly in every game he's in. While Angel's calls are the worst in history, he makes them less frequently than Joe does. I'd honestly rather have the worst ump in history make bad calls less than a horrible ump making bad calls more frequently. On the personality side, West is an easily irritable man and is infamous for throwing players and managers out of ball games on the daily.
Now Joe's going to give him some argument because Mark's saying, what do you do? Joe, just get over there and umpire, will you? Joe looks like he is looking for problems with us.
Well,
and then he's telling Najee to get,
he knew that he was going to throw him out.
He's a joke. He's becoming a joke is what he's doing.
Who was smart enough to put Joe West and Angel Hernandez on a field together? On the side, Joe produces average country music and hopes to one day become the next Hannah Montana, as if country music wasn't already bad enough. I'm really going to get flack for that one, aren't I? He should probably focus more of his time on strengthening his retinas instead of strumming that guitar, because his on-the-field ability is pretty bad. I can imagine Joe's daily routine as follows. He wakes up, he stares at himself in the mirror and says, "How can I ruin baseball today?" Because that's how Joe West talks. He goes and records his version of Old Town Road, and he drives to the field with the intent on ejecting a minimum of 3 players in the game. He then proceeds to turn his brain off, blow a couple of calls, and then get in intense stare-downs with other cowboy-like ball players that could potentially compete with his music career. What the hell am I saying? While Joe doesn't seem to get as much flack as Angel does, he definitely deserves to. These two are without a doubt in the same bracket in terms of laughing stocks and umpiring ability, and I have as much animosity towards one as I do the other. He is just as bad, if not worse, at his job than Angel is. MLB did actually suspend Joe in 2017 for a few games because of his comments about Adrian Beltre that he complains all the time. I've given myself a 1 bad word limit of video, and I thought I'd redeem it here. He's an absolute dick. Nobody talks about Adrian Beltre negatively and gets away with it. He's one of my favorite players ever. To think that West graduated at the top of his class at umpiring school is mind-bending. One of my favorite Joe West moments came in 1991 at Wrigley Field. Andre Dawson bumped into West while striking out. He then argued, was ejected, threw 14 bats on the field from the dugout, and then the fans joined him in throwing debris on the field. After Major League Baseball fined Dawson for the incident, he wrote, quote, "Donation to the blind" on the check.
Got him!
It seems like Joe likes picking fights on the field, like every day. He gets upset about everything. He actually whines more than Angel Hernandez does. And I don't think there's a player out there besides Nelson Cruz who actually enjoys his company. Imagine actually wanting to take a picture with Joe West. Joe managed his 5,000th game a few years ago, a momentous occasion for a major league umpire, and 5,000 games that us fans have had to suffer, and I imagine the celebration was like a birthday party that no one shows up to. The 2 videos I've made about these umpires encase a much larger issue with problematic officiating across all major sports. I actually made a video a long time ago about robot umpires, and if that interests you at all, I'll leave a link down to that in the description below. These kinds of umps really make you think about it, and it pisses off the umpires union to no end. Speaking of the umpires union, the other day they actually tweeted something about the whole Manny Machado violent bat throwing incident, and I'm pretty sure it's my favorite Twitter account of all time. There's a very finite amount of Twitter accounts on the internet that actually make me crack up every time I look at them, and the umpires union Twitter account is probably the funniest. You should probably go. I'll leave that down in the description too if you're feeling for a good laugh. I'll leave that there. Although, nothing can piss them off as much as a beach ball can piss off Cotton Eye Joe.
It's called time. A beach ball got out of the stands out in right field. Joe doesn't look too happy about that.
Thank you all so much for watching and for all of your support recently. You guys did better than I expected for the face reveal wager, but still, you fell a bit short. But I'll still do it at 1,000 Twitter followers, so if you're interested, you can go follow me on Twitter. And I'll also be doing polls on Twitter to let you guys decide what video I should be making next. So if that interests you, go follow at SRSMatt on Twitter. Link down below, of course. Like the video if you did enjoy, subscribe to the channel if you're new, share with your friends, and I will talk to you all later.